The notification said, "You should see what you posted last night," and I had not posted anything last night. I had not posted anything in 3 days. Let me back up because this gets bad. My name's Jordan, I'm 17, and I go to a pretty normal public school in suburban Ohio. Nothing special, nothing terrible. I've got a solid group, my best friend Eliana, who I've known since 6th grade, my friend Marcus, who moved here freshman year, and a few other people who rotate in and out depending on the semester. I'm not popular, but I'm not invisible either. I'm just kind of there, which honestly is fine with me. I run cross country in the fall, I'm an AP Lit, I work weekends at a frozen yogurt place that barely pays me enough to cover gas. Normal stuff, normal life. The kind of life where the most dramatic thing that happens is someone eating your leftovers out of the fridge. Then there's Nadia. Nadia and I were close, like genuinely close, from sophomore year until about halfway through junior year, which is this year. She transferred in from a private school and didn't know anyone, and I was the one who brought her into our group. I introduced her to everyone. I invited her to everything. I literally taught her which hallway to use to avoid the freshman stampede after fourth period. For a while it was great. She was funny, she was smart. She had this energy where she'd walk into a room and everyone kind of turned toward her like plants toward sunlight. I liked that about her. I thought we balanced each other out. She was the loud one, I was the steady one. That's how it worked. That's how I thought it would keep working. But here's the thing about Nadia that I didn't see clearly until later. She had this pattern. Not a mean pattern exactly, but a competitive one. Like everything was a quiet contest she was running in her head that nobody else had signed up for. If I got an on a paper, she'd mention that she got an A+, but casually, like she wasn't even thinking about it. If I mentioned a guy I thought was cute, within a week she'd be finding reasons to talk to him. Not flirting exactly, just positioning herself. She'd compliment you in a way that also reminded you she was better. Stuff like, "I love that you just wear whatever you want, I could never be that brave." And you'd smile and say thanks and then 20 minutes later realize, wait, what did that actually mean? Ileana noticed before I did. She'd say things like, "Nadia's doing that thing again," and I'd brush it off because I didn't want it to be true. I'd invested so much in the friendship. I'd been the one who vouched for her. If Nadia turned out to be someone I shouldn't have trusted, what did that say about my judgment? So I ignored it. I made excuses. I told myself Ileana was being oversensitive, which is honestly the part of this story I'm least proud of. Because Ileana was right about everything, and I chose not to listen. Everything between me and Nadia started falling apart around November. There was this guy, Cole, who I'd been talking to. Nothing official, nothing serious, but we were texting every day, and it was getting to that point where something was probably going to happen. I mentioned it to Nadia at lunch one day, just casually, like, "I think Cole might ask me to winter formal." And she got this look on her face that lasted maybe half a second before she smiled and said, "Oh my God, that would be so cute." But I saw the look. I clocked it and I filed it away and I didn't say anything. 2 weeks later, Cole stopped texting me, just went cold. I figured he'd lost interest, which happens, whatever. Then I saw them together in the parking lot after school, Nadia and Cole. She was leaning against his car laughing, and he was looking at her the way he used to look at me in the hallway. She saw me see them, and what she said was, and I will never forget this, "Oh my God, Jordan, I meant to tell you, it just kind of happened. You're not mad, right?" She said it in front of Marcus. She said it in front of two other people. She put me in a position where I either had to say no, of course not, or look like a jealous freak in front of everyone. So I said no, of course not. And I went home and sat in my car in the driveway for 45 minutes staring at nothing. After that, I pulled back. I didn't make a big announcement, didn't have a confrontation, didn't post anything. I just stopped texting her first, stopped sitting next to her at lunch. Started spending more time with Eliana and Marcus and less time in any situation where Nadia would be. She noticed, obviously. She'd text me things like, "Hey, stranger, and are we good?" And I'd reply with short, polite answers that didn't invite more conversation. I thought I was handling it maturely. I thought the slow fade was the kind thing to do. Looking back, I think it made her furious because Nadia didn't want me to leave quietly. She wanted either my loyalty or a fight she could win, and I wasn't giving her either one. So, the fake account. It showed up on a Tuesday in late January. An Instagram account with my first and last name, a slightly different spelling, like the way you'd typo it if you were searching fast. The profile picture was a photo of me from the summer, one I'd posted publicly so anyone could have grabbed it. But the posts. God, the posts. Whoever made it was posting like they were me, and they were saying awful things, talking about people at school by name, calling one girl desperate, saying a guy in our grade had been caught cheating on a test when he hadn't, posting a screenshot of a real conversation I'd had with someone, with the caption, "Imagine being this pathetic." I still don't know how they got that screenshot. It was a DM between me and a girl named Priya where she'd been venting about her parents, and it was deeply personal, and now it was just out there with my name attached to it. Priya saw it before I did. She texted me at 11 at night, "What is wrong with you?" No question mark, just flat, dead anger. I had no idea what she was talking about. She sent me the link and my whole body went cold. I'm not exaggerating when I say my hands were shaking so hard I could barely type. I reported the account immediately, but Instagram took almost 3 days to take it down, and by then the damage was done. People had screenshot everything. It was in group chats I wasn't even in. People I barely knew were looking at me differently in the hallways. Priya wouldn't talk to me. The guy who'd been accused of cheating confronted me at my locker, and I literally had to stand there saying, "It wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me," while he looked at me like I was lying. I called Eliana sobbing that night, and she came over and sat with me while I reported every post and drafted a story on my real account explaining it was fake. Some people believed me. A lot of people weren't sure. I was a mess for weeks. I barely slept. I'd go to school and feel like everyone was looking at me, and the worst part was I couldn't even fully blame them because the account had known things. Real things, details that only someone in my life would know. Whoever made it had access to private information, and that made it look like maybe I'd made the account myself for attention or as some kind of weird social experiment. Yeah, people actually said that. I heard that theory from 3 different people. Meanwhile, I was spiraling. My grades dropped. I skipped 2 cross-country practices and my coach pulled me aside. I started eating lunch in the library because I couldn't handle the cafeteria. Eliana was a rock through all of it, but even she started getting frustrated because I was constantly anxious, constantly checking my phone, constantly asking, "Do you think people believe me?" Marcus tried to help too, but he's not great with emotional stuff, so his version of helping was saying, "Just ignore it," which is the most unhelpful advice in the history of advice. And then, this is the part that makes me feel sick, I did something I shouldn't have done. I went through Nadia's phone. She'd left it on the table during a group project in AP Lit, screen up, and everyone else had gone to get materials from the supply closet, and I just picked it up and looked. Her phone was unlocked. I opened her Instagram and searched, and there was nothing obvious. But then I opened her email, and sitting right there in her sent folder was a confirmation from Instagram, a welcome email for the fake account. With the username, the exact username. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I was going to throw up right there in the classroom. I put the phone down, sat back in my chair, and didn't say a word for the rest of the period. I didn't confront her that day. I went home and told Ileana and Marcus what I'd found. Ileana literally said, "I knew it," and Marcus just went quiet for a long time. We talked about what to do: go to the school, go to her directly, post about it publicly, and I couldn't decide. So I did the thing that might have been a mistake or might have been the only option, depending on how you see it. I screenshot the email confirmation from Nadia's phone. I'd taken a photo of it before I put the phone down, which, yes, means I invaded her privacy, and yes, means I planned it in the 2 seconds between seeing it and reacting. I sent that screenshot to Priya first because she deserved to know. Then I sent it to the group chat with our wider friend circle, not the whole school. Just the people who had been affected. I didn't add commentary. I didn't say anything cruel. I just sent the image and wrote, "This is who made the account." Within an hour, Nadia was calling me. I didn't answer. She texted me a paragraph that started with, "You had no right to go through my phone," and honestly, she wasn't wrong about that part. I did violate her privacy. I went through someone's personal device without permission, and I took evidence from it. That's not something I can pretend is okay just because what I found was bad. But then her next message said, "You're the one who pushed me out of the group. You're the one who stopped being my friend for no reason. I didn't do anything wrong until you made me feel like I didn't exist." And that's the part that still keeps me up at night, because she genuinely felt that way. In her mind, I was the one who started it. I was the one who abandoned her. And the fake account wasn't cruelty to her, it was retaliation. It was evening the score. I'm not saying she was right, I'm saying she believed it. The school got involved eventually. Priya's parents called the principal. There was a meeting. Nadia got a week of suspension and mandatory counseling. She and Cole broke up, though I don't know if that was related. She came back to school and we haven't spoken once. She sits on the opposite side of every room we share. Sometimes I catch her looking at me and I can't read the expression at all. Priya and I are slowly rebuilding, but it's different now. Something between us cracked and I'm not sure it'll ever fully heal. Ileana says I did the right thing, that exposing Nadia was the only way to clear my name. Marcus says I should have gone to the school first instead of the group chat. My mom says I shouldn't have touched the phone at all. And me? I genuinely don't know. I violated someone's privacy to prove they violated mine. I handled the slow fade instead of having an honest conversation, which maybe set all of this in motion. I protected myself, but I also blew up someone's life in a group chat instead of handling it privately. So tell me honestly, was I right? Should I have done it differently? And if you were in my position, sitting in that classroom with her phone, right there and the truth one tap away, would you really have put it down?